नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिहिल करीम अम्मा बाद फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश्शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम इन्नल्लज़ीना आमनू व अमिलुस्सालिहाति इन्ना ला नुज़ीअु अज्र मन अहसना अमला उलाइका लहुम जन्नातु अदनिन तजरी मिन तहतिहिमुल अन्हारु युहल्लौना फ़ीहा मिन असाविर मिन ज़हबिन व यल्बसूना सियाबन खुदरम मिन सुंदुसिन व इस्तबरक़ मुत्तकीन फ़ीहा अलल अराइक निअमस सवाब व हसनत मुर्तफ़क़ा सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम. It's a general rule in Quran that whenever there is a mention of the people of the hell, then for a simultaneous contrast, the people of Jannah, the people of paradise are also mentioned. So in the fourth section of Surah Al-Kahf, we have already read about the people who will be in the hell. Inna a'tadna lizalimina naran ahata bihim suradiquha. You know, they will be surrounded by fire and the smoke of hell. Wain yastaghisu yughasu bima'in kal muhl. And if they will ask for some water, they will be given some molten brass, molten copper to drink, which will be very hot. Yashfil wujuh. It will roast their mouths and faces. Baisa sharab wa saat murtafaqa. It will be a very bad thing to drink and a very bad place to rest. Now in contrast, innallazina amanu wa amilus salihat. Verily, those who came to believe and who did good deeds. Inna la nuzi'u ajra man ahsana amala. We are not going to waste the reward of those who have been doing good deeds. Ulaika lahum jannatu adnin. For them will be the residential gardens of perpetuity, of eternity. Tajri min tahtihimul anhar. Underneath them, rivers will be flowing. Yuhallawna fiha min asawira min zahabin. They will be adorned therein with bracelets of gold. Vayalbasuna siyaban khudran. And they will be wearing dress which will be green colored, min sundusim wa istabrak, robes of silk and brocade. Muttaqiina fiha alal araik, and they will be sitting over there on raised couches. Ni'mas sawab, it will be a very good reward that will be given to them. Wa hasanat murtafaqa, and it will be a very goodly place to rest. Now in the next session, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving an example of two persons who were friends. One was wealthy, the other was poor. But the wealthy one became haughty, and the poor one was loyal to his Lord Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there is a conversation between them. وَاضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلَ الرَّجُلَيْنِ. Relate, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, to them the story of two people, example of two persons. جَعَلْنَا لِأَحَدِهِمَا جَنَّتَيْنِ مِنْ عَذَابٍ. We had given to one of them two gardens of grapes. وَحَفَفْنَاهُمَا بِنَخْلٍ. And we had surrounded those gardens of grapes with the palm trees, date palm trees. وَجَعَلْنَا بَيْنَهُمَا زَرْعًا. In between the two gardens there was an agricultural farm also. So all the things that he needed were there. There were fruits, there were grapes, there were dates, and there was the farm in which, corn, etc., or wheat, whatsoever he needed, he could cultivate. Kiltal jannatayn atat ukulaha wa lam taslim minhu shay'a. Both the gardens produced its fruit and never decreased it in any way. Wa fajjarna khilalahuma nahara. And we had caused to gush forth between them a river. A river was also flowing between the two. وَكَانَ لَهُ samar. And he had fruit. Now it has two meanings. Either the gardens were laden with fruit, or fruit of a man is his progeny, daughters, sons. So maybe, as we shall see later on, he had many sons. وَدَخَلَ جَنَّتَهُ وَكَانَ لَهُ samar فَقَالَ لِصَاحِبِهِ. Now he said to his friend, his man, companion, وَهُوَ يُحَاوِرُهُ. and they were having a conversation among them. Ana aksaru milka maalam wa azzu nafara. I have more wealth than you have, and I have more strength, and the number of people I have with me is much greater than you have. وَدَخَلَ جَنَّتَهُ, and then he entered his garden. وَهُوَ ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ, and he was doing wrong to himself. قَالَ مَا أَظُنُّ أَن تَبِيدَ هَذِهِ أَبَدًا. He said, I don't think that this garden can perish ever. وَمَا أَظُنُّ السَّاعَةَ قَائِمَةً. In the same way, I don't think that the hour and the sa'ah and qiyamah is going to come. وَلَئِن رُدِدتُّ إِلَىٰ رَبِّي. And supposedly, if I am returned to my Lord, لَأَجِدَنَّ خَيْرًا مِنْهَا مُنْقَلَبًا. I'll definitely find much better things over there when I go back to my Lord. قَالَ لَهُ صَاحِبُهُ. Now this is a sort of mentality of rich people. They think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this thing in this world. It means we deserve it. So we shall get in the afterwards also, in the hereafter also. So here he was thinking, primarily either there is no hereafter, no resurrection. But if there is any resurrection, and if there is the life of hereafter, then I shall get more than what I am getting here. قَالَ لَهُ صَاحِبُهُ. Now his companion said to him, وَهُوَ يُحَاوِرُهُ, and he was conversing with him, أَكَفَرْتَ بِالَّذِي خَلَقَكَ مِن تُرَابٍ. Are you denying your Lord, who has created you out of the dust? ثُمَّ مِن نُطْفَةٍ, and then from a sperm drop. ثُمَّ سَوَّاكَ رَجُلًا, and then he made you a complete man. لَكِنَّهُ اللَّهُ رَبِّي. But as for me, I accept Allah as my Lord. وَلَا أُشْرِكُ بِرَبِّي أَحَدًا, and I am not ready to associate anybody else with him. وَلَوْلَا إِذْ دَخَلْتَ جَنَّتَكَ قُلْتَ مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ. And why it was not the case that when you entered your garden and you were pleased to see the garden laden with fruit, you should have said, Ma sha Allah. This is actually because Allah decreed it to be so. This is because Allah wanted it to be so. It's by the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever I have. La quwwata illa billah. There is no power except with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In tarane, if you are seeing me, ana aqalla minka maalam wa walada, that I am less than you in my wealth as well as my sons. فَعَسَىٰ رَبِّي أَن يُؤْتِيَنِي خَيْرًا مِّن جَنَّتِكَ. It's just possible that my Lord gives me a garden better than yours. وَيُرْسِلَ عَلَيْهَا حُسْبَانًا, and he may send over your garden a thunderbolt from heaven. مِنَ السَّمَاءِ فَتُصْبِحَ صَعِيدًا زَلَقًا, and then all this garden and all this agricultural farm, it will become a slippery plateau. أَوْ يُصْبِحَ مَاؤُهَا غَورًا, and it is also possible that this water of this river may go down into the earth. فَلَن تَسْتَطِيعَ لَهُ طَلَبًا, and then it becomes impossible for you to get the water out of the earth. وَأُحِيطَ بِثَمَرِهِ. Now what this person said, it actually happened. He was someone from awliya Allah. Allah loved him. And whatever he said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually did the same with that person. And his gardens were destroyed. وَأُحِيطَ بِثَمَرِهِ. All the fruit was taken away from him. فَأَصْبَحَ يُقَلِّبُ كَفَّيْهِ عَلَى مَا أَنفَقَ فِيهَا. And now he remained there, rubbing his hands against each other on the wealth that he had invested. The garden has been finished. There came, a thunderstorm, a thunderbolt, and everything was gone. He had invested a lot. يُقَلِّبُ كَفَّيْهِ عَلَى مَا أَنفَقَ فِيهَا وَهِيَ خَاوِيَةٌ عَلَى عُرُوشِهَا. And the garden was lying down on its supports. There are supports for the grape, So now these supports are down. وَيَقُولُ, and then he said, يَا لَيْتَنِي لَمْ أُشْرِكْ بِرَبِّي أَحَدًا. Would that I had not associated anyone with my Lord. Now the question is, whom he had associated with the Lord. There is no mention here of any Lat, Manat, Uzza, Hubal, no God. He believes in one God. Only what he says is that I don't think there is going to be any resurrection. I don't think. And if there is resurrection, this God has given me this thing over here, he will give these things, better things to me in the hereafter also. And he was so confident of his garden. I don't think it can perish, it can be destroyed. What is it? This is the faith in material resources. Here matter and material resources have become God for him. He has all the faith and trust in the material resources. And this is the biggest shirk of today. What is the shirk? Very few people today in this world might be worshipping idols. Even Hindus, very few. Only the lower strata of the society going to temples and worshipping, idols. The higher elite of Indian society also doesn't go to temples, doesn't worship these idols. The shirk is, number one, human sovereignty. This is the biggest shirk. Sovereignty belongs to whom? If you claim sovereignty, you are making yourself equal to Allah. This is number one shirk. Then all the confidence, all trust in matter and material resources. While Iman says that you should have all trust in God, not in the matter, not in the material resources. So this was the shirk that he was committing, not the shirk of worshipping other gods and goddesses. وَلَمْ تَكُنْ لَهُ فِئَةٌ يَنْصُرُونَهُ. But then there had been no hosts who could have helped him min dunillah, besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَا كَانَ مُنْتَصِرًا. And it was not possible for him to take revenge. From whom could he take the revenge? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has destroyed his gardens. هُنَالِكَ الْوَلَايَةُ لِلَّهِ الْحَقِّ. Here all authority belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Walaya, this is walaya. And another word is wilaya. Wilaya is from wali. When there is mutual brotherhood, mutual friendship, it is wilaya. But authority is from, walaya is from wali. Wali is the person who rules some place or some country, wali. And from wali is walaya. So authority. Authority here belongs to Allah and Allah alone. هُنَالِكَ الْوَلَايَةُ لِلَّهِ الْحَقِّ هُوَ خَيْرٌ ثَوَابًا. He is the best in rewarding. وَخَيْرٌ عُقْبًا. And he is the best regarding the final result. وَاضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. Strike to them, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a similitude for the life of this world. كَمَاءٍ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ. It's like the water that we send down from the heaven. Rain comes down. فَاخْتَلَطَ بِهِ نَبَاتُ الْأَرْضِ. And with this water of rain, intermingles the vegetation of the earth, of the land, and comes out. Otherwise, the land was without any greenery, no vegetation, barren. Now water came down, rain poured, and now there is vegetation. So vegetation intermingled with that water and came out. فَأَصْبَحَ هَشِيمًا تَذْرُوهُ الرِّيَاحُ. After some time, this vegetation, this becomes dry and broken in pieces. And now the air is taking it from this side to that side, etc. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَلَىٰ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ مُقْتَدِرًا. And verily Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is powerful over everything. Now this is, our body, as I said in the Friday sermon today, those of you who were present, our animal existence, our body comes from clay. Our ruh comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just as the rain comes down and the vegetation of the earth comes out due to that rain. Ruh comes from there and the body which is coming from the clay, they join together, and that is the life of this world. When we die, the body will go back. مِنْهَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ وَفِيهَا نُعِيدُكُمْ وَمِنْهَا نُخْرِجُكُمْ تَارَةً أُخْرَى. But the ruh and the nafs, the life, they will go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-malu wal-banuna zinatul hayatid dunya. Wealth and sons, they are the adornment of this life of this world. Now this word zina is coming for the third time here in this surah. First of all, in the first section we had, Inna ja'alna ma'al ardi zinatan laha linabluwahum ayyuhum ahsanu amala. Whatever is over this earth, we have made it an adornment for this world. It looks very beautiful. And we want to test whether you love this world or you love us. This is the test. Number two, we found, O Muhammad, your eyes should not go toward those people who have zinat of dunya, adornment of dunya. وَلَا تَعْدُ عَيْنَاكَ عَنْهُمْ تُرِيدُ زِينَةَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. These people who are rich, who are the chieftains, they have the adornment of this worldly life. But you shouldn't go towards them. You shouldn't pay more attention to them. You devote more attention to your poor, to your Ahle Iman, your brothers in faith. Although they are poor, but they go on praying Allah, calling in the morning and evening, calling upon Him. And now third time here, Al-malu wal-banuna zinatul hayatid dunya. This wealth that you have in this world and your sons, they are adornment of this life of this world. Wal-baqiyatu salihat. But the things which will remain are the righteous deeds. Sons will remain here. They are not going to go with you in the grave. Your wealth will remain here. It's not going to go with you in the grave. What will you take into the graves with you? Will be the good deeds. They will be permanently with you. If you have done some. Wal-baqiyatu salihat. These things which remains and which is eternal, they are the good deeds. Khairun inda rabbika sawabam wa khairun amala. And these good deeds are better near your Lord when you stand before your Lord. And they are better that you can have hope something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you for these deeds. وَيَوْمَ نُسَيِّرُ الْجِبَالِ. And when we shall make the mountains move, they will move and they will become dust. There will be no mountains. It will all be a plain earth. وَيَوْمَ نُسَيِّرُ الْجِبَالَ وَتَرَى الْأَرْضَ بَارِزَةً. And you will see this land, this earth, absolutely leveled and plain, without any adornment. Now the skyscrapers gone, buildings gone, palaces gone, even Himalayas gone, all things gone. It's all plain land. وَحَشَرْنَاهُمْ. And then we shall gather them, all human beings. وَلَمْ نُغَادِرْ مِنْهُمْ أَحَدًا. And will not leave even one of them, all the human beings. From Adam alayhi salatu wasalam to the last human being who will be there in his progeny till the end of this world, till Qiyamah, they will all be present over there. They will all be resurrected and they will have to stand there. And then, as I quoted earlier also, the ayat from Surah Al-Fajr, وَجَاءَ رَبُّكَ وَالْمَلَكُ صَفًّا صَفًّا وَجِيَ يَوْمَئِذٍ بِجَهَنَّمَ. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will himself descend, and angels in rows and columns and ranks. And then there will be the accountability of the day of judgment, and the judgments will be passed. وَعُرِضُوا عَلَىٰ رَبِّكَ صَفًّا. They will be presented before their Lord in ranks and lines. لَقَدْ جِئْتُمُونَا كَمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ. Very beautiful. Allah would say, now you have come to us in the same form in which we had created you for the first time. What was that creation of the first time? And what is the creation of second time? First of all of us were created as spirits, no bodies. All the spirits of all the human beings, from Adam till the last man. And we were present there. And we made the covenant with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alastu bi rabbikum? Qalu bala. Am I not your Lord? Why not? Oh Allah, we accept you as our Lord. This was the covenant. This is the covenant of Allah, we call it. So this is, and we were all present there. But there was no relationship, no father, no son, no grandfather, no grandson. All in only the spiritual forms, not the bodies. Then what happened? Then when, this world of matter was created, and now when a human being's fetus is completed in the womb of the mother, the ruh, the spirit, is brought from there and joined with it. And according to a hadith, it is done after 4 months. It is the hadith from Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu that for 40 days, it's the nutfa stage. Then for 40 days, it is muzgha stage, alaqa stage. 3 into 40, 120 days. That is 4 months. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends an angel and he blows the ruh into it. Now it becomes human being, just as about Adam. وَإِذَا خَلَقْتُهُ وَسَوَّيْتُهُ وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي فَقَعُوا لَهُ سَاجِدِينَ. In the same way, the son of Adam in the womb of his mother, when this fetus is 4 months old, that ruh is brought and it is blown into him. So now, just as we were standing, all of us, together before Lord, when we made the covenant, Alastu bi Rabbikum, in the same way, on the day of judgment, we shall be standing all of us together. Father with the son, and grandfather and grandson, all. From Adam to the last man which will come in this world, they will all be present. لَقَدْ جَئْتُمُونَا كَمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ. As we had created you for the first time. Creation for the second time is in the womb of the mother. Bodily creation was in the womb of the mother. First creation was only of the spirits of human beings. وَوَضِعَ الْكِتَابِ. And now the record of the deeds of the people will be brought and placed. Maybe it is a very giant computer. You only touch one button and the whole film of a human being's life is there, you can see. Whatever he uttered is there. Whatever he did is there. For every being, every human being. وَوَضِعَ الْكِتَابِ فَتَرَى الْمُجْرِمِينَ مُشْفِقِينَ مِمَّا فِيهِ. You will see that these culprits, evildoers, will be very much fearful of what is there in this record. وَيَقُولُونَ, and they will say, يَا وَيْلَتَنَا, woe to us, مَا لِهَذَا الْكِتَابِ. What type of a record it is? لَا يُغَادِرُ صَغِيرَةً وَلَا كَبِيرَةً إِلَّا أَحْصَاهَا. It has not omitted even the smallest details. All the sins, they have been commuted here. They have been computed here. Everything is here. وَوَجَدُوا مَا عَمِلُوا حَاضِرًا. And they will find whatever they had done present before their eyes. وَلَا يَظْلِمُ رَبُّكَ أَحَدًا. Your Lord is not going to do injustice to anybody. Everybody will be repaid what he did. Not that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to punish one without any deeds, bad deeds that he had committed. وَلَا يَظْلِمُ رَبُّكَ أَحَدًا. Your Lord is not going to punish anybody and do any injustice to anybody. Now the 7th section starts, as I told you, with the same story of Adam and Iblis. وَإِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ فَسَجَدُوا إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ. And when we said to the angels, prostrate before Adam, they all prostrated except Iblis. But this is the only place where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has clarified that Iblis was not an angel. Kana minal jinn. He was one of the jinns. Now, malaika were created out of light. In the same way, human spirits, arwah, they are also created out of light. Jinnat, they were created out of fire. And lastly, human beings, along with all the animals on this world, they were created from this dust or mud or whatever you may call it, from the clay. So these are 3 levels of creation. Highest level from light, the angels and human spirits. Second intermediary level from fire, they are the jinnat. And the lowest level, our animal being. But our existence is twofold. This animal being is at the lowest level, but of the highest level is the spirit that is blown into us. So we have a double existence. While jinnat, they are midway, but they are better than our animal existence. But we are better than them due to the spirits that have been blown into us, and those are from the light. So jinn can disobey Allah. Humans can disobey Allah. But now the question is why this was included among angels? They say that he was a very pious, very learned jinn. And he had been joined with the angels. Because you know, Noor and Nar are very close to each other. Malaika created out of Noor. And Jinnat created out of Nar. And Noor and Nar, they are very close to each other. In between is one harf illat, as they call them, which interchanges from this to that, from alif to waw and ye. These three letters, you know, they are huruful illah. Anyhow, there is not time for these discussions. Kana min al-jinn, he was from amongst the jinns. فَفَسَقَ عَنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّهِ, so he disobeyed the command of his Lord. أَفَتَتَّخِذُونَهُ وَذُرِّيَّتَهُ أَوْلِيَاءَ مِن دُونِي وَهُمْ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ. Now you, O the progeny of Adam, do you want to take him, Iblis, and his progeny, friends to you, leaving me, your Lord, who placed Adam, your grandfather, above the jinnat and above the malaika? But now you are befriending Iblis. He is your enemy. أَفَتَتَّخِذُونَهُ وَذُرِّيَّتَهُ أَوْلِيَاءَ مِن دُونِي. Now you are befriending this Iblis and his progeny and leaving me. وَهُمْ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ, although they are your enemies. بِئْسَ لِلظَّالِمِينَ بَدَلًا. Bad is the exchange for these evildoers. Not befriending Allah, but befriending Iblis. مَا أَشْهَدْتُهُمْ خَلْقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. I had not taken them witnesses when we created the heavens and the earth. وَلَا خَلْقَ أَنفُسِهِمْ, nor the creation of themselves. وَمَا كُنْتُ مُتَّخِذَ الْمُضِلِّينَ عَضُدًا. And I am not the one who can take these people who led others to astray as helpers. وَيَوْمَ يَقُولُ نَادُوا شُرَكَائِيَ الَّذِينَ زَعَمْتُمْ. This subject has come many times before also. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, now call those people or those deities or those gods, false gods, that you used to call upon and pray in the life of that world. الَّذِينَ زَعَمْتُمْ فَدَّعُوهُ. They will call them. فَلَمْ يَسْتَجِيبُوا لَهُ. But they will not answer them. وَجَعَلْنَا بَيْنَهُمْ مَوْبَقًا. And we shall set up a gulf of destruction in between them. وَرَأَى الْمُجْرِمُونَ النَّارِ. And these culprits, these evildoers, they will see the fire. فَظَنُّوا أَنَّهُمْ مُوَاقِعُوهَا. And they will be sure now that they are going to be thrown into it. وَلَمْ يَجِدُوا عَنْهَا مَصْرِفًا. And they will not find any escape, any place to save themselves from this fire. وَلَقَدْ صَرَّفْنَا فِي هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ لِلنَّاسِ مِنْ كُلِّ مَثَلٍ. This ayah was there in Surah Bani Israel also. Only the sequence of the words is changed. We have explained in this Quran, for the benefit of humanity, all the similitudes, bil kulli masal, and in the various forms, various words, various styles, various sequences. وَكَانَ الْإِنسَانُ أَكْثَرَ شَيْءٍ جَدَلًا. But man is more than all the creatures in quarreling. He is more quarrelsome than any of the creatures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is not ready to accept. وَمَا مَنَعَ النَّاسَ أَن يُؤْمِنُوا إِذْ جَاءَهُمُ الْهُدَىٰ. And nothing has prevented the people in believing when this guidance has come to them. وَيَسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّهُمْ. And so that they ask forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِلَّا أَن تَأْتِيَهُمْ سُنَّةُ الْأَوَّلِينَ. But the only reason is that the unfortunate end of the ancient nations is going to come to them. أَوْ يَأْتِيَهُمُ الْعَذَابُ قُبُلًا. Or the divine chastisement will come before them face to face. وَمَا نُرْسِلُ الْمُرْسَلِينَ إِلَّا مُبَشِّرِينَ وَمُنذِرِينَ. And we don't send, and we have not been sending our messengers except as the bearers of the glad tidings and as warners. وَيُجَادِلُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِالْبَاطِلِ. And those who disbelieve, they rebut the truth by falsehood. بِالْبَاطِلِ لِيَدْحِضُوا بِهِ الْحَقَّ. So that they may rebut the truth. with batil. وَاتَّخَذُوا آيَاتِي وَمَا أُنزِلُوا هُزُوًا. And they have taken my revelations, my ayat, with which they are being warned, as a mockery, as a laughing stock. وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنْ ذُكِّرَ بِآيَاتِ رَبِّهِ. Who is more evildoer than the person who is reminded, admonished with the revelations of his Lord? فَأَعْرَضَ عَنْهَا. He turns his face away from them. وَنَسِيَ مَا قَدَّمَتْ يَدَاهُ. And just forget what his both hands have sent forward in stock for the life hereafter. إِنَّا جَعَلْنَا عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ أَكِنَّةً. We have put on their hearts wheels. أَنْ يَفْقَهُوهُ. This ayah also has appeared in Surah Bani Israel. Surah Bani Israel, we have read it. They can't understand it. وَفِي آذَانِهِمْ وَقْرًا. We have put heaviness in their ears. وَإِن تَدْعُوهُمْ إِلَى الْهُدَىٰ. And if you call them towards guidance, فَلَن يَهْتَدُوا إِذًا أَبَدًا. They are never going to be guided to the right path. Now they have rejected the truth, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also put a seal on their hearts. وَرَبُّكَ الْغَفُورُ ذُو الرَّحْمَةِ. Your Lord is a forgiving Lord, a merciful. وَالرَّحْمَةِ غَفُورُ ذُو الرَّحْمَةِ. لَوْ يُؤَاخِذُهُمْ بِمَا كَسَبُوا. Had He seized human beings, mankind, on whatever they did, I commit a sin now and Allah gives the punishment right now. Well, in that case, we have read before also, no living creature would have persisted, or we would have remained on the earth. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't punish immediately. وَرَبُّكَ الْغَفُورُ ذُو الرَّحْمَةِ لَوْ يُؤَاخِذُهُمْ بِمَا كَسَبُوا لَجَّعَلَ لَهُمُ الْعَذَابَ. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have sent the chastisement for them very early. بَلْ لَهُمْ مَوْعِدٌ. No. For them there is a time fixed. لَن يَجِدُوا مِن دُونِهِ مَوْئِلًا. And they will not find any escape from that fixed time. وَتِلْكَ الْقُرَىٰ أَهْلَكْنَاهُمْ لَمَّا ظَلَمُوا. And these are the cities where Qawm Ad, nation of Ad, nation of Hud, used to live. Those places where Samud, to whom Hazrat Saleh was sent, used to live. Those cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, to which Hazrat Lut was sent. تِلْكَ الْقُرَىٰ أَهْلَكْنَاهُمْ. We destroyed them. وَجَعَلْنَا لِمَهْلِكِهِمْ مَوْعِدًا. And for their destruction, we had fixed a time which was fixed for that. Now, in the next two sections, there is a story, a journey which Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam took with someone. We are not sure who was he, whose name is not given. Generally, we know him by the name of Khizr alayhi salam. There are various opinions about the person of and personality of Khizr. One is that he was an angel sent down on this earth so that he teaches to Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam some of the wisdom, divine wisdom. Something that he was a saint, dead long before, but his spirit is there. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has retained it in this world. And it guides people on different occasions, etc., etc. But I think there's no need of going into this discussion. Only the essence of what he taught and what is the reality that Moses came to know through him, that is important. وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَىٰ لِفَتَاهُ. Just recall when Moses said to his servant, لَا أَبْرَحُ حَتَّى أَبْلُغَ مَجْمَعَ الْبَحْرَيْنِ أَوْ أَمْضِيَ حُقْبًا. I am not going to give up until I reach the place where the two rivers or two seas they meet. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told him, go there where the two rivers or two seas they meet. And there you will find a person and he will teach you certain things. Now there are two opinions. One is that this was the Nile, river Nile, Al-Nilul Arzaq, Al-Nilul Abyaz. There are two Niles, in Sudan, but then they join together. And when it enters Egypt, it is one Nile. So maybe the joining place of the two Niles, the blue Nile and the white Nile, might be that place where he was sent. Wallahu alam. So he said, I am not going to give up till I reach there, where the two seas or rivers meet. or I can go on for years. فَلَمَّا بَلَغَا مَجْمَعَ بَيْنِهِمَا, when they both reached the point of meeting of those two rivers, نَسِيَا حُوتَهُمَا, they had for their, breakfast or something like that, some fish, roasted fish. They forgot to take with them. نَسِيَا حُوتَهُمَا فَاتَّخَذَ سَبِيلَهُ فِي الْبَحْرِ سَرَبًا. Now this roasted fish became alive and dug a burrow in the sand and went into the sea or the river. فَلَمَّا جَاوَزَا, when both of them had gone further, قَالَ لِفَتَاهُ, now Musa said to his servant, آتِنَا غَدَانَا, bring us that breakfast, our food. لَقَدْ لَقِينَا مِنْ سَفَرِنَا هَذَا نَصَبًا. Now we have tired, we have got it, from this journey, we have been tired now. قَالَ أَرَأَيْتَ, the servant was Joshua of Bible, Joshua. And we call them Yusha ibn Nun. Joshua, he became the caliph after Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. And under his leadership, the Bani Israel, they captured Jericho. Jericho is the city, which was the first city which was captured in Palestine by Bani Israel under the command of Joshua. And this Joshua is as a servant with Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam in this journey. قَالَ أَرَأَيْتَ, Joshua said to him, look, إِذْ أَوَيْنَا إِلَى الصَّخْرَةِ, when we had taken refuge on that chatan, on that sakhra, on that rock, فَإِنِّي نَسِيتُ الْحُوتَ, I just forgot to look after that fish. وَمَا أَنْسَانِيهُ إِلَّا الشَّيْطَانُ نَذْكُرَهُ, and definitely Satan made me forget that I didn't mention it to you. وَاتَّخَذَ سَبِيلَهُ فِي الْبَحْرِ عَجَبًا, and that fish that became alive, and then it took its way into the sea or into the river. And it is a very strange thing that had happened. قَالَ ذَلِكَ مَا كُنَّا نَبْغِي. Moses said, Musa alayhi salam said, this is what we were looking for. Allah has told him that something very strange will happen somewhere, and there you will find the person to whom we are sending you. قَالَ ذَلِكَ مَا كُنَّا نَبْغِي. He said, this is what we were after. فَارْتَدَّا عَلَىٰ آثَارِهِمَا قَصَصًا. Now they retraced their steps and came back to that place where the two rivers were meeting and where that fish had disappeared into the water. فَوَجَدَ عَبْدًا مِّنْ عِبَادِنَا. There they found our bondsman, one of our bondsmen, عَبْدًا مِّنْ عِبَادِنَا, one of our servant, from our servants. آتَيْنَاهُ رَحْمَةً مِنَّا, we had given him mercy from us. وَعِلَّمْنَاهُ مِنْ لَدُنَّا عِلْمًا, and we had taught him knowledge from the store of knowledge with us. قَالَ لَهُ مُوسَى, Musa said to him, هَلْ أَتَّبِعُكَ, should I follow you? I remain with you, keep your company. عَلَىٰ أَن تُعَلِّمَنِ مِمَّا عُلِّمْتَ رُشْدًا, but you will have to teach me some of what you have been taught of right judgment. Some of the knowledge, special knowledge that Allah has given you. If you promise to teach me, then I should remain with you for some time, for some days. قَالَ إِنَّكَ لَن تَسْتَطِيعَ مَعِيَ صَبْرًا. He said, you won't be able to have patience with me. وَكَيْفَ تَصْبِرُ عَلَىٰ مَا لَمْ تُحِطْ بِهِ خُبْرًا. And how can you have patience about those things, about the knowledge of which you don't have? Apparently you will find I'm doing something wrong, and you will not be able to keep quiet. You will speak out, and just as happened, we will see later on. So you will not be able to be patient with me. قَالَ سَتَجِدُنِي إِنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ صَابِرًا. Moses said, Inshallah, you will find me patient person. وَلَا أَعْصِي لَكَ أَمْرًا, and I will never disobey you. Whatever your instruction, I will follow. قَالَ فَإِنِ اتَّبَعْتَنِي. Then he said, if you follow me, if you keep my company, فَلَا تَسْأَلْنِي عَنْ شَيْءٍ, then don't ask anything from me, حَتَّى أُحْدِثَ لَكَ مِنْهُ ذِكْرًا, till such time that I myself disclose to you some of the secrets of what I have been doing. فَانْطَلَقَا, now they departed. حَتَّى إِذَا رَكِبَا فِي السَّفِينَةِ, but when they boarded a boat, خَرَقَهَا, he made a hole in the boat, bottom of the boat. قَالَ خَرَقْتَهَا لِتُغْرِقَ أَهْلَهَا. How could Hazrat Musa be patient with it? He said, you have made a hole in the bottom of the boat. You want to drown its occupants? لَقَدْ جِئْتَ شَيْئًا إِمْرًا. Certainly you have done a very grievous thing. قَالَ أَلَمْ أَقُلْ إِنَّكَ لَن تَسْتَطِيعَ مَعِيَ صَبْرًا. He said, didn't I say to you, you will not be able to be patient with me? قَالَ لَا تُؤَاخِذْنِي بِمَا نَسِيتُ. He said, don't bring me to the book on which I have forgotten. It was just, I forgot. Reproach me not for which I forgot. وَلَا تُرْهِقْنِي مِنْ أَمْرِي عُسْرًا. And oppress me not in my affair. فَانْطَلَقَا. He said, okay. Then they continued their journey. حَتَّى إِذَا لَقِيَ غُلَامًا فَقَتَلَهُ. Till that time that they met a young boy and he killed him. قَالَ قَتَلْتَ نَفْسًا زَكِيَّةً بِغَيْرِ نَفْسٍ. Musa said, you have killed a human life, innocent life, without his having killed anybody. No law. لَقَدْ جِئْتَ شَيْئًا نُكْرًا. Again you have done something very bad. قَالَ أَلَمْ أَقُلْ لَكَ إِنَّكَ لَن تَسْتَطِيعَ مَعِيَ صَبْرًا. That person said, didn't I say to you that you won't be able to have patience with me? قَالَ إِن سَأَلْتُكَ عَنْ شَيْءٍ بَعْدَهَا فَلَا تُصَاحِبْنِي. Hazrat Musa said, now if I ask anything again, then you can say me to depart. Then don't keep me with you. لَقَدْ بَلَغْتَ مِن لَدُنِّي عُذْرًا. You have reached now that level of excuse about me. I won't be able to complain that why you are parting ways from me, because twice I have committed a mistake, but if a third time I commit a mistake, you will be justified to say, go away. فَانْطَلَقَا. Again they continued the journey. حَتَّى إِذَا أَتَيَا أَهْلَ قَرْيَةٍ اسْتَطْعَمَا أَهْلَهَا. Till such time that they came to a township and they wanted the people of that town or village to feed them. Travelers, in the olden times, people used to feed them as guests. فَأَبَوْا يُذَيِّفُوهُمَا. But those people were so wicked of that township that they denied, they refused to feed them and to play host to them. فَوَجَدَ فِيهَا جِدَارًا يُرِيدُ أَن يَنْقَضَّهُ. Now they found there in that city or township a wall which was going to collapse. فَأَقَامَهُ. That person was there. That person Khizr, he straightened it, rectified it. قَالَ لَوْ شِئْتَ لَاتَّخَذْتَ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا. Hazrat Musa said, you could demand, labor from them. They are so wicked people. They are not ready to feed us, and you have done this work for them without any wages. You should have demanded wages. قَالَ هَذَا فِرَاقُ بَيْنِي وَبَيْنِكَ. He said, now this is the parting of time. This is the time of parting of ways between me and you. سَأُنَبِّئُكَ بِتَأْوِيلِ مَا لَمْ تَسْتَطِعْ عَلَيْهِ صَبْرًا. Now I am going to disclose to you the secrets about which you couldn't be patient. Number one, أَمَّا السَّفِينَةُ. As for that boat, فَكَانَتْ لِمَسَاكِينَ يَعْمَلُونَ فِي الْبَحْرِ. That belonged to certain poor people who were working on the sea, taking passengers from this side to that side. فَأَرَدْتُ أَنْ أَعِيبَهَا. And I damaged it. وَكَانَ وَرَاهُمْ مَلِكٌ يَأْخُذُ كُلَّ سَفِينَةٍ غَصْبًا. Because behind them there was a king who was confiscating and annexing all the boats. Now when he will see that this boat is damaged, he will spare it. So this whole boat will be spared for them. Had it been correct and absolutely fit, then the whole boat would have gone from them. So actually, you think that I have done something bad for them, it is actually good for them, for their benefit, that now that king will not take this boat from them. وَأَمَّا الْغُلَامُ. As for that boy, فَكَانَ أَبَوَاهُ مُؤْمِنَيْنِ. His parents are believers and they are good people. فَخَشِينَ أَن يُرْهِقَهُمَا طُغْيَانًا وَكُفْرًا. We feared that if this boy becomes mature, he will oppress his parents with insolence and ingratitude. He could see that he is not a gentle man, gentle boy. He will be a headache for the parents. فَأَرَدْنَا أَن يُبْدِلَهُمَا رَبُّهُمَا خَيْرًا مِنْهُ زَكَاةً وَأَقْرَبَ رُحْمًا. So we decided that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes him back and give them in its place another son who might be better than him in purity and nearer in affection. وَأَمَّا الْجِدَارِ, and as for the wall, فَكَانَ لِغُلَامَيْنِ يَتِيمَيْنِ فِي الْمَدِينَةِ, it belonged to two orphan boys in the city. وَكَانَ تَحْتَهُ كَنْزٌ لَهُمَا, beneath the foundation of that wall, there was a treasure for them. وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحًا, and the father of these two orphans, he was a very pious person. He had saved something for his young orphan sons, when he was dying, and he buried there in the foundation of this wall. Now, if this wall if it collapses, the treasure will be apparent. It will come out, and people will take it, because the orphans are still minor. They won't be able to protect their wealth. So, فَأَرَادَ رَبُّكَ, so your Lord decided it, أَن يَبْلُغَ أَشُدَّهُمَا, they reach their maturity, وَيَسْتَخْرِجَ كَنْزَهُمَا, and then they take out from that, the foundation of that wall, their treasure. رَحْمَةً مِّن رَبِّكَ. All this was manifestation of the mercy of your Lord. Apparently you thought, I have done something wrong. Now what is the lesson in it? In this world, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends something to me which is not pleasant, I think it is bad. Maybe there is something good in it. Asan tuhibbu shay'an wa huwa sharrun lakum, wa asan takrahu shay'an wa huwa khairun lakum. It's just possible. You might be disliking something, but there is good for you in that. And likewise, it is also possible that you might like something, but there must be bad in it for you. So actually, Allah knows and you don't know. Wallahu ya'lamu wa antum la ta'lamun. So whatever is happening in this world to us, we should think is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And some good is intended by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Biyadihil khair. In His hand is all good. Whatever comes from Him is good for me. Although apparently, immediately, instantly, it might appear to be unpleasant for me, but in the long run, if it is coming from my Lord, it must be beneficial for me. This is the lesson of Iman which Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam got through this journey. ذَلِكَ تَعْوِيلُ مَا لَمْ تَسْتَطِعْ عَلَيْهِ صَبْرًا. This is the real interpretation of those things on which you could not have patience. وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنْ ذِي الْقَرْنَيْنِ. I told you the questions were, who were the people of the cave? Who was Zulqarnain? But يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنْ ذِي الْقَرْنَيْنِ, they are asking you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, about Zulqarnain. Zulqarnain, first of all, must understood, Qarn means a horn. Qarnain, two horns. The person having two horns, who was he? Actually, he was Cyrus, Khorus. He was the king of Persia. Before him, Persia was divided into two kingdoms, Paras and Media. But when he rose to power, he joined them together. And he was the actually founder of the great Iranian empire, whose 2,500 years anniversary was, you remember the Jashan, which the king, emperor of Iran, I think about 20 years back, a big ceremony was held. 2,500 years had passed. And he was the founder of the great Iranian kingdom, empire, and he was the founding emperor. He then attacked Babylonia. Babylonia is Iraq. After, west of Iran is Iraq. And Babylonia, there were the Jews who were in captivity. Nebuchadnezzar was the king of Babylonia, who had destroyed the second temple in Jerusalem in the year 587 before Christ. I gave that history last night. Now these things are coming together. So now these people, when Cyrus captured Babylonia, he allowed these Jews to go back to Jerusalem, and they can go and they can have their temple again, build their temple. So these people knew him. And because he had joined two kingdoms to make one, in his, Taj? In his crown, he fixed two horns to represent two kingdoms becoming one. So he is Zulqarnain. يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنْ ذِي الْقَرْنَيْنِ قُلْ سَأَتْلُو عَلَيْكُم مِّنْهُ ذِكْرًا. Say to them, okay, I'm going to narrate some of his events to you. Inna makanna lahu fil ard. We had established him in the land, in the earth. He was a big king. Wa atainahu min kulli shay'in sababa. And we have given means to him for everything. Fa atba'a sababa. So he launched an expedition, conquest towards the west. Hatta idha balaga maghrib ash-shams. So much so that when he reached the place where the sun was setting, you know, this coast of Mediterranean, when he reached there, now in front of him was the ocean, Mediterranean Sea. And when you stand on the coast, you think that the sun is going down in the sea. When he reached there, وَجَدَهَا تَغْرَبُ فِي عَيْنٍ هَمِيَةٍ, he found that the sun is setting in black, muddy water. وَوَجَدَ عِنْدَهَا قَوْمًا, and there he found a nation. He conquered them. قُلْنَا يَا ذَا الْقَرْنَيْنِ, we said, O Dhul Qarnayn, إِمَّا أَن تُعَذِّبَ. Now you have the authority. You can chastise them if you like. وَإِمَّا أَن تَتَّخِذَ فِيهِمْ حُسْنًا, or if you like, you can do good to them. You can be kind to them. You have conquered them, but you can be kind to them. قَالَ, he said, أَمَّا مَنْ ظَلَمَ فَسَوْفَ نُعَذِّبُهُ. Whosoever does evil, so we should also chastise him. ثُمَّ يُرَدُّ إِلَىٰ رَبِّهِ, and then he will be returned to his Lord. وَيُعَذِّبُهُ عَذَابًا نُكْرًا, and he will chastise him in the worst form of azab. وَأَمَّا مَنْ آمَنَ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا, as for those who believe and they do good deeds, فَلَهُ جَزَاءً الْحُسْنَى, his good reward is secure with his Lord. وَسَنَقُولُ لَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِنَا يُسْرًا, and we also will be lenient to them in our affairs. ثُمَّ أَتْبَعَ سَبَبًا. Now this character is of a very pious person, as if he was a prophet. They say that actually he was a follower of Zoroaster, and he was a Nabi. Maybe. It's just possible, but it is not mentioned in Quran. But he was under training with him, and he, as we find here, as if he is one of the prophets, just like Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam. The character is absolutely parallel. Summa atba'a sababa, then he prepared for another expedition. Hatta idha balaga matli' ash-shams, when he reached the place where the sun rises, wajadaha tatlu ala qawmin, he found it is rising on a nation, ala qawmin lam naj'al lahum min duniha sitra, for whom we had appointed no shelter. They say that this expedition of Zulqarnain was towards Makran, this Balochistan area. And there the people were so low, uncivilized, that they didn't know how to make roofs. Their houses were only walls separating each other's house, that's all, no roof. So they had no shelter from the sun. Kazalik, this is what happened. وَقَدْ أَحَطْنَا بِمَا لَدَيْهِ خُبْرًا, and indeed we have all the knowledge that happened over there. What it means? We are not giving you the details. Now comes the third. ثُمَّ أَتْبَعَ سَبَبًا, then again he prepared an expedition. It was towards the north. حَتَّى إِذَا بَلَغَ بَيْنَ السَّدَّيْنِ, until when he reached between the two barriers of mountains, he found وَجَدَ مِن دُونِهِمَا, he found on this side of these mountains a nation, قَوْمًا لَا يَكَادُونَ يَفْقَهُونَ قَوْلًا, they were not able to understand anything. Now this is the place between two seas, the Black Sea in the west and the Caspian Sea on the east. In between them is the Caucasia. This area, mountainous area, also this, Chechnya is also a part of it. Now here are mountains and two, walls of mountains, and in between them there is a way, a broad dara, we will call it. So people from the north, Gog and Magog, used to come through this and attacked here and looted them, plundered them, and then used to run back. So these people here, they said to Zulqarnain, قالوا يا ذا القرنين, they said, O Zulqarnain, inna Yajuja wa Majuja mufsiduna fil ard. Surely Yajuj and Majuj, Gog and Magog, They are from the progeny of Hazrat Yafis alayhi salatu wasalam. I told you 3 sons of Nuh: Sam, Ham, Yafis. Shem, Ham, Yafith. And this is the progeny. Beyond the central mountainous regions of Asia, north of it, towards east and west both, this is the area where the progeny of Yafis alayhi salatu wasalam settled. So they are also, and the sons, the name of the sons of Yafis are given in Bible, Torah, and they include Gog and Magog. They create mischief in the land. فَهَلْ نَجْعَلُ لَكَ خَرْجًا. So should we assign for you some tribute? أَلَا أَن تَجْعَلَ بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَهُمْ سَدًّا. On this, that you erect between them and us a barrier, so that they can't cross, this pass between the 2 mountains. They come through this pass and attack us and plunder us and kill us and then run back. So if you can somehow fill this gap and put a barrier over here and close this pass, then we shall give you annual tribute, so that this can compensate you for what you do for us. قَالَ مَا مَكَّنِّي فِيهِ رَبِّي خَيْرٌ. He said, whatever my Lord has given me is much better than what you can offer me as a tribute. I don't need any wealth, no tribute. Again, the character, the moral character of the person is, I think, just the same as of the prophets of Allah or awliya Allah, some very pious person. قَالَ مَا مَكَّنِّي فِيهِ رَبِّي خَيْرٌ. What my Lord has given me is much better than what you can offer me in tribute. فَعِينُونِي بِقُوَّةٍ. But help me with manpower, labor. Come on, work with me. أَجْعَلْ بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَهُمْ رَدْمًا. I will build between you and them a wall. This wall which he created between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea, between the cities of Daryal and Darband, there was a gap. And this gap was filled by a wall which he built 50 miles long, 29 feet high, 10 feet broad at the top. Just like the dam, Mangla Dam and Tarbela Dam. What happens? A mountain this side, mountain this side. And here you erect a wall. This is the dam. This dam is now, the flow of the river is hampered, and now an artificial lake is created, and there is the water reservoir. Bangla and Tarbela both. But in the same way, he erected a wall over there. Atuni Zubar al-Hadid, he said, bring to me pieces of iron. Hatta idha sawa baina sadafain. They fill the gap with these pieces of iron, so that when they are leveled up, the gap is finished. Qala al-fuhum. Then he said, blow in it, make it a fire. Hatta idha ja'alahu naran. When it was a fire, qala atuni ufiq alayhi qitra. Now bring to me molten brass that I pour over it. So to say, it was the reinforced concrete structure. First, pieces of iron, then they were made red hot, then molten brass was poured, so it became a very, very important, very strong structure. فَمَسْتَعُوا يَظْهَرُوهُ وَمَسْتَطَعُوا لَهُ نَقْبًا. They will not be able, neither they will be able to scale it, come over it, nor they will be able to pierce it. قَالَ هَذَا رَحْمَةٌ مِّن رَبِّي. And he said, this is all the mercy of my Lord. I don't claim any credit for it. I don't boast of anything. قَالَ هَذَا رَحْمَةٌ مِّن رَبِّي. This is the mercy of my Lord. فَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ رَبِّي جَعَلَهُ دَكًّا وَكَانَ وَعْدُ رَبِّي حَقًّا. When the command of my Lord will come, then this will become a powder. This strong thing that I have made, it will not remain. It will become a powder. And the promise of my Lord is going to be true. It is going to happen. At one time, it will not be there, and it is now not there. There are some remains at that place. That is why the name of the Darband. Darband means in Persian, where the door has been closed. Darband. So Darband is the name of that place where this wall existed. But now there is no wall, it has gone. وَتَرَكْنَا بَعْضَهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ يَمُوجُ فِي بَعْضٍ وَنُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ. And when that time will come, we shall leave them surging into each other, fighting. And then the trumpet shall be blown. Now this surah began with the warning of a war. Alhamdulillahi allazi anzala ala abdil kitaba wa lam yaj'al lahu iwaja qayyaman liyunzira ba'san shadidan min ladunhu wa yubashshirul mu'minina allazina ya'maluna as-salihati anna lahum ajran hasana makisina fihi abada. And this is now ending here. Again, there will be a very big war. People and Gog and Magog will intermingle with each other. They will run into each other's columns. Yamuj fi ba'din, surging against one another. And the trumpet shall be blown. وَنُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ فَجَمَعْنَاهُمْ جَمْعًا. And then we shall gather all humanity together for the day of judgment. وَعَرَضْنَا جَهَنَّمَ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْكَافِرِينَ عَرْضًا. And on that day, we shall present Jahannam, hell, for these disbelievers. They can see it now with their own eyes. الَّذِينَ كَانَتْ أَعْيُنُهُمْ فِي غِطَاءٍ عَنْ ذِكْرِي. Those people whose eyes were blind to my remembrance. They never remembered me. They never knew me. They never loved me. They never served me. But now, this is the وَكَانُوا لَا يَسْتَطِيعُونَ سَمْعًا. And they were not listening to my revelation and my ayat. So here, this 11th section comes to an end. But now the time is not with us for the 12th section, last section. So this we shall have to complete inshallah tomorrow. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Quran al-Azim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil ayati wa dhikril hakim.